Hi everyone, my name is Joseph, and today I want to discuss Kong Skull Island, a movie which came out in 2017. And I have to say, I only saw it because of the recent addition to HBO, more specifically Kong X or Kong Cross, Godzilla or Godzilla Cross Kong, A New World or Brave New World. I forget the subtitle, but anyways, that's the only reason why I decided to watch Kong, is because I am aware that it's all interconnected, it being the Godzilla and Kong movies, and apparently I forgot about this small little detail. This is actually part of its own little universe. It's called the MonsterVerse. So because of that, that's why I made the choice to go ahead and rewatch. Well, actually, I never saw the Kong movies before. I've always been more of a Godzilla fan, so I did watch all the Godzilla movies, even the Legendary Pictures. And although I do much more prefer Godzilla minus one, if anyone's seen that movie, they'll know why I prefer it. If anyone hasn't seen it, oh my goodness, I highly recommend everyone to go ahead and check it out. It's such a great Godzilla movie. Dare I say, probably the best Godzilla movie since the original. But anywho, we're here to discuss Kong. So I won't lie, I went in Kong. I do enjoy the Godzilla Legendary Pictures, but again, when it comes to Toho Godzilla and Legendary or American Godzilla, I always have a bit more respect for Toho Godzilla. And I've had that same mindset for Kong, essentially. Since I knew Kong was made by Legendary Pictures, I kind of always just viewed Kong more as a fun film series that one should, quote unquote, turn off their brains for. And I personally have never been a fan of those kind of movies, and more specifically, I've never been a fan of that expression. If one turns off their brain, then they couldn't enjoy this piece of media, excuse me. And the reason why I don't like that expression is because I feel like that means you're cutting yourself off from critique or criticism. And when it comes to criticism, and actually my most recent video when it comes to Digimon, I discussed criticism. I feel like in today's time, there's this negative connotation when it comes to critique and criticism. A lot of people just view it as negativity and being negative, but when one is doing critique incorrectly, then they are just being negative. The whole purpose of criticism and critique is to build upon, reinforce the original piece, looking at what's good and discussing why did that good dialogue, good plot detail work, and how can we replicate that, and compared to why didn't this work, what can we do to avoid this pitfall, or what can we do to salvage what we currently have. That's what criticism to critique is. And so I feel like when one turns off their brain, now they're cutting themselves off from being able to criticize or critique whatever it is that they're partaking in. So with that being said, when I went into this movie, although I knew that it's not usually the kind of movies that I do enjoy watching, I also went in with the express point of not turning off my brain. And I had to say, I came out of the movie, the first Kong, actually quite enjoying it. And I have to say, that's actually true for Godzilla Cross Kong as well. I very much enjoyed the most recent one, not the first one where they first meet Godzilla and Kong, but Brave New World, whatever that new subtitle is, the one that just recently came out. Same thing, I ended up coming out of the film really... Excuse me, everyone, that's my cat. She knocked over my chapstick. Anyways, but I came out of it very much enjoying it because of specific elements that I know, or I know for myself at least, if I had turned off my brain, I may not have noticed and may have came out from the movie not enjoying it, being very much in the neutral camp. So what is it that I enjoyed about Kong? I enjoyed the characters. I think so. There was a lot of characters in this film. I went in. Oh, that was Brie Larson. I don't know, it was Brie Larson. I'm not good with actors and actresses. I'm always shocked when there's a actress that's present that I did not recognize. The same thing happened with the boys and quote unquote the God character from Supernatural. He was present in the not the most recent episode, but the second to last episode of the boys. Anyways, that's a tangent. So Tom Hiddleston's character, I think he did Tom Hiddleston, Captain. It's not Captain what, James? Ugh, of course the full name is not. Yes, Captain James, excuse me. So Captain James, I liked how he was very much a man who was not the manly man, but rather he kept in mind, he was emotionally intelligent. There we go. There was one scene, for example, where the other character, it's John C. Reilly, so that was him. Another actor, right? I knew he kind of looked familiar, but I didn't realize that was him. Interesting choice to have, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's a comedian, but interesting choice to have him to play Hank Marlowe's character. For context, Hank Marlowe was an individual who was in World War II and unfortunately was shot down over Kong's Island and was left marooned here. Now that I know that it was a comedian, I do have to say that although I didn't recognize him right away, I did feel like I did recognize him. That did take me out of it a little bit, especially because if I was supposed to believe that this individual was able to communicate with a tribe of people, a group of native people who don't even communicate to begin with, I feel like they maybe should have gotten an actor to express a sociological tendency a bit more clearly, if that makes sense. Essentially, I'm trying to say that no offense to John C. Riley, but I feel like because he's been typecast, whenever I see him, I feel like the characters he's portraying is meant to be kind of quote unquote dumb. Like I don't mean to be offensive, but that's why I kind of didn't take his character seriously. Even though I really wanted to like Hank Marlowe's character, but he kind of took me out of it a bit just because again I was thinking to myself he was able to communicate with his native tribe. Interesting. Okay then. But yeah, so and continuing that, even the villains, John Goodman's character, who was in charge of Monarch, his demise was quite unexpected, but I think fitting for his character. And then even other minor characters like San Lin, portrayed by Jean Taeyeon, excuse me, I mispronounced that, and Mills, portrayed by Jason Mitchell. And since I'm right here, let me double check. Is Jason Mitchell the individual? Oh, sorry guys. I know I just did a face because I thought he was the one from The Good Place. I was completely off the bat there though. Sorry everyone, thank you for your patience. I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent right now, but I guess that was him. Interesting. Let me quickly look at this other actor, Corey. Oh, never mind, everyone. Sorry about that. So I was incorrect. So the other actor, Jason Mitchell, he was not in The Good Place, but he portrays Mills. And I really like those two characters, San Lin and Mills' characters. They were also working for Monarch, although they didn't really much have a presence when they were present. They made the movie a bit more bearable in terms of their interaction with other characters. And along with that line as well, I also like Jack Chapman. I believe that's Jack Chapman. Let me double check the last name is B. Yep, Chapman, excuse me. Portrayed by Toby Kibbo, another minor character. He also had a sudden end. I thought for sure he'll be at the very least going to the climax of the movie and then dying at that portion, that bit of the film, not in the middle of the movie. But he did such a great job of portraying that character as well. I was really hoping he'll link up with the rest of his group. And when he met his demise, I was a bit disappointed about that. And then, of course, we have Brie Larson's character, who she played Mason Weaver. I won't lie, I think the female character, they didn't really give her much to do, unfortunately. But the stuff that she did have, I think the character did very well. And like, for example, I already talked about this a little bit, but the scene where a giant mammal of some kind is trapped underneath a helicopter, I love how she was willing to help. She's hanging out with the tribe and taking pictures when she hears that animal crying out. And she has no hesitation. A bit of hesitation because she's told not to go into the forest or the jungle. But I like how, despite that warning, she goes into the jungle to help. And I really do like how Kong notices that she was helping, or at least I hope he noticed. And so he leaves her alone. So I think the movie did a pretty good job with the cast and the characters, except for John C. Reilly. But John C. Reilly did a good job of portraying his character. Again, I feel like they should have chosen another actor to portray Hank Marlowe's character. But they all did such a fine job of creating a film where even if one is not engaging with it for the story or for the plot, they could at least engage with it for the characters. I am happy to say, both happy and a little bit shocked to say that by the end of Kong was over, I actually would consider myself a fan of the Kong Skull Island movie. So would I recommend Kong Skull Island? Yeah, I definitely really would, and I encourage you not to go in to turn off your brain, but rather go in and ready for a fun movie where I'm sure there's going to be something that one could gravitate towards to. I will eventually do a review for the most recent Kong movie, but I am more than likely going to watch the films in chronological order. I did start watching the Godzilla, I believe it's called Godzilla, the first film, and I'm going in. So I have seen it already. I've seen it twice. Once with my mom, and then first with my friends, and then again with my mom, because again I am a Godzilla fan. I do enjoy Godzilla, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, when the Godzilla legendary film came out, I believe Godzilla wasn't in theaters for quite a while, so that's why I saw it twice in theaters. I don't do that too often. Anyways, but yeah, so this will be my third time rewatching it. I'm not gonna lie, I do recall being very much neutral towards that movie, maybe even leaning towards not liking it, and it's because of the general consensus. Not enough Godzilla, too much of a focus on the human characters. I'm going in with a different mindset this time. I'm going in rather than, because I did watch that new Kong movie, and unfortunately Godzilla's not really much in it too often, unfortunately. And while Kong is in it, he doesn't really do anything major. It's all the human characters that are really much setting up the pieces for the grand finale. Yeah, despite that, I still enjoyed the film. I'm going to go in with the Godzilla movie with the essentially this idea: humans, colon, a Godzilla story, right? So essentially, although it's a Godzilla story, Godzilla is just being used as a setting, as a backdrop to help push the main story forward. So with that mindset in mind, I'm hoping that I'll be able to enjoy the new Godzilla movie more. So then when Godzilla does appear, I'll feel, oh hell yeah, here's Godzilla, how exciting, rather than feeling, finally, how long did it take for Godzilla to finally appear? Or finally, how long was it since the last time Godzilla, how long was it since the last Godzilla appearance for this film? Right, so I'm really looking forward to go to this film with that mindset. I'm hoping it'll help me to, if not love it, I don't think I'm going to love it, but if not love it, but at the very least appreciate it, or at the very least have fun with it. So yeah, so again, would I recommend Kong Skull Island? Yes, I very much will. Again, I was very much always a Godzilla fan. I'm not going to lie, I was a bit biased towards Godzilla, so thus I was always a bit mean towards Kong. Mean as in, I didn't very much care for the character. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't watch Kong, while I did watch the Godzilla movie and film. Excuse me. While I did watch the Godzilla film in theaters. I kind of do have some regrets now not watching Kong Skull Island, because again, I think it would have been a fun little thing to watch in theaters with friends rather than at home on my own, right? So, but with that being said, when I'm out with my friends, not out, but when I'm hanging out with at a friend's house, and we're trying to discuss what movie should we put on, definitely Kong Skull Island. That'll be one that I would recommend if it's available. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. As always, have a great day and take care.